Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here. Today is a special day. Today, the Lilo and Stitch live-action remake is now currently in theaters. And no, I haven't read any reviews yet, so I don't know if it's good or bad. Now, I put out a poll a couple of months ago, pretty much this year, of what topic you want me to discuss. And today I'll be talking about the top 10 bad Disney movies that should get the remake treatment. Now, let's get into the rules. Number 1. This list is my opinion, so don't be shocked if your favorite Disney movie is on the list. If you like it, good for you. I just don't like it myself. So let me know down in the comments below why you like it. Number 2. If these movies were to get remade, I would like to nominate my picks for actors who could do a great job. If you agree with this, that's good. Let me know who would you like to add to the list. And I nominate these actors based on if they're well known, backgrounds, and their nationalities. So, if for the sake of it, I didn't just pick them because they're well known. I picked them based on information I was doing while I was editing this. 3. If there's any Disney movies that I missed, let me know down in the comments what film and why. So what I mean is, if there's a bad Disney movie that you didn't like that isn't on the list, tell me down in the comments below which film should get the remake and why. And lastly, I won't go too deep into the 10 entries as I've only watched these films once. So I'll only mention the bits I didn't like about the film, or I liked in this case. So keep that in mind. Okay, before I get to my 10th entry, keep this in mind. I'm not saying it's a 100% bad movie. It's just, I just don't like it. Just keep that in mind. And the 10th Disney movie that I think should get the remake treatment, Brave. Now, before you type down in those comments you're putting Brave on the list, shame on you. That movie is a classic and should not get the remake. Now, I just said a few moments ago, I'm one that doesn't like the movie. I think it's a bit cliched, the story is one I've heard a million times, and don't do much with the material it's given. Now, before I get into why I think it should get the remake treatment, and ignore that, I'm not saying it's 100% bad. I'll give out a few good pointers. Firstly, I like Merida's design. She actually looks something cool and original. Second, I like that the bear in this does not talk. She's shown more of her facial expressions, and that's fine. And that's it. Those are the only two things I like about the movie. Now, if you're wondering why you hate this so much, what would you change? Well, for the one, the story. I think the story should be changed a little bit. Ignore that, I think that the movie could be set when Merida is already queen. Like, she doesn't have a king by her side. Kind of like the end of The Princess Bride 2 ending. She's already a queen. She's ruled over Dumbrook. And for what's seen, she is a good queen. And yes, Eleanor and Fergus would still be around in this story. Trust me, I'll get to that. But what should be changed, and this is just strictly what I think should be a good story. There's three princes that Merida should have married. She refused their hand in marriage, so they come back for revenge and kidnap Merida's young triplet brothers. Pretty much kind of a exchange. We release your brothers if you agree to marry me. And in a split twisted situation, the three suitors start fighting over them. Pretty much kind of in a comedic sort of way. And Merida pretends to accept this, but in reality, she's on a rescue mission. And with her parents by her side, it's an all-going adventure. No bear turnings, mostly strictly fight-to-hand, action set pieces, with a bit of comedy in there. So yeah, that's I think should be the story. Yeah, it feels a bit weird, but hey, it could be something different. I mean, for one, in my version, Merida could actually fight. And Queen Eleanor too, alongside Fergus. And now for the actors who I think should play these roles. I'll go from the supporting roles to the lead. Now for King Fergus, I think it should be John Goodman. I mean, I know he's not Scottish, but if you look at the two in comparison, they're pretty much honestly identical. And given that John Goodman has not been in a Disney movie before, Emperor's New Groove will come to mind, I think he can pull it off. Just dye his hair red, and with enough practice on the Scottish accent, I think John Goodman could play a really good King Fergus. As for Queen Eleanor, I think it should be Emma Thompson again. She was good in the original. That's actually my third bit. That's actually the third. I forgot about that part. Emma Thompson in the original version was pretty good. And Emma Thompson can do a pretty good Scottish accent, surprisingly. So yeah, I think she should play her in live action form. Just dye her hair red. Dye her hair brown like in the original version, and yeah. I think she can pull it off. And as for Merida herself, well, given in my version, Merida's a little older, like in her 30s, I think Karen Gillan should play that role. Again, on a couple of reasons. One, she's Scottish. And yes, I looked it up. Karen Gillan is actually Scottish. She only put on the British accent because she was in Doctor Who. Two, the girl can fight. I mean, she was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. She was in the MCU movies, after all. Guardians of the Galaxy's trilogy comes to mind. I mean, Karen Gillan can both act and do action sequences. I think Karen Gillan would be a great Merida. Again, in my version, Merida will be closer to Karen Gillan's current age, which I think is in her 30s too. So yeah, overall, I think Brave should get the remake treatment. Its story could be a little better, and with my three main actors, I think it can be pulled off. I mean, it's not like they can do any worse. And my ninth pick to get the remake treatment is the Aristocats. And before you say anything, I did hear they are going to remake this. I heard. I don't think it's fully confirmed. But before they start doing the greenlit, let's put in what I would consider a good Aristocats. Now, I think the original's very forgettable. I mean, it's about it's about a family of cats who gets thrown overboard of a river because their owner's butler wants to get a hand of the money that his master is going to the cats. I mean, who gets money to cats? And then there's this orange cat, I forgot his name, let me know down in the comments if you know, helps them, and it's pretty much a fight on fight to try and get back home while avoiding the butler. Now, should the story change? Actually, no. I think it should be close to the original, with the few minor exceptions. I think, and hear me out on this, because I am going to bring this topic up a lot on this list. Trust me. I think the animals should never speak. I'll give you a few moments and be like, what? I think the animals shouldn't speak. Animals in real life can express what they're feeling. I think it can be done. The 100 Dalmatians remake comes to mind. For what, in that movie, the animals never speak. And I like that movie. I think the Aristocats should get the same treatment. Oh, and that infamous song in the movie, which I only just remembered. I think it should be played from the original version, but done with a few different aspects. Just ignore the unnerving stereotyping, but apart from that, that should be good. And who should play the human characters? Well, I don't know. I don't remember the cat's owner's name, so I'm not going to mention her. But I will mention one actor who could play the bad guy, Edgar. Because the actor I picked has pretty much played charismatic and evil villains that you really love to hate. And the actor I picked who should play Edgar is Hugh Grant. I mean, look at the movies Hugh Grant has been, where he played the villain. Paddington 2, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, and Heretic. Hugh Grant, I think, would be excellent as Edgar. The smart the charisma, Hugh Grant comedy, and the fact he can play just any evil bad guy, he would be excellent as Edgar. And given that he could go up against a bunch of animals, I think his physical comedy would be excellent too. So yeah, I'm not going to delve too much in this one. But I think the remake should stay the same as the original, but with a remix of the well-known song from the original, and Hugh Grant as Edgar. So, nothing much to say. But if the remake comes out before you watch this video, I think, well, that's just that. But honestly, I think this movie should get the remake treatment. That's pretty much it. I mean, it can't be any worse. And yes, that is something I'm going to be saying a lot too. And the eighth Disney movie that I think should get the remake treatment is Raya and the Last Dragon. And I know, like Brave, this one is loved upon the fanbase. But like Brave, I really didn't like it. I mean, and I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record. The story feels cliched, and I love Awkwafina, but her character never shuts up. Oh, and speaking of the dragon, in my version, the dragon should never talk. At all. Like, at all. I think the dragon should express his or her feelings through facial and body expression. The movie can still work. Should the story be changed? Well, the story in the original is actually one of the few interesting aspects. So, I think the story should stay the same. Just make the main lead and the bad guy more interesting. Now, speaking of the two main leads, that being Raya and Namri, sorry if I'm butchering that, the one who I think should play Raya is Jenna Ortega. I mean, Jenna Ortega can pull it off. Tara Carpenter in Screams 5 and 6, Wednesday Addams, Lorraine in X, and given Jenna Ortega actually did play alongside a unicorn in Death of a Unicorn, go read my review of that movie. I think Jenna Ortega can do good action sequences. I mean, again, she's done it in the past in her career. I think she'd make a pretty good Raya. I mean, if you look at the designs, I think Jenna Ortega could pull it off. And as for Nami, now, I have been practicing this name for a while. So, Oxio Gomez. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Oxio Gomez should play Namri. Now, if you wonder who this actress is, well, if you're a Doctor Strange fan, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Oxio Gomez plays America, the chick that can teleport in between dimensions, in different multi-dimensions. That's that chick, if you want to know who she is. I think she could make a pretty good Namiri. I mean, for one, the two actors I've mentioned are pretty close to the character's nationality, and given. So overall, Raya and the Last Dragon, the original's mediocre, but I don't think a remake could be any worse than this. And I think with good chemistry between Jenna Ortega and Oxiel Gomez, I think the remake could be so much better. And again, the dragon does not talk. Just do facial and body expressions, that's it. And say what you will, I know some people like the original, but I'm sadly not one of them. And in a controversial opinion, I think Raya and the Last Dragon should get the remake. Just hire Jenna Ortega and an Oxio Gomez, and I think your movie should be fantastic. I mean, it can't be any worse. And the seventh bad Disney movie I think should get the remake treatment is Lightyear. Okay, let's get the opposite out of the way. The plot twist in the original, in this movie, makes no goddamn sense. It makes no goddamn sense. And yes, I've only watched this once, and I absolutely hate it. So, what should be changed? I think instead of making Zurg Lightyear's future self, which is so dumb, I think they should do what they did in the movie Mufasa: The Lion King. Now, I know that was a terrible idea, but I think it could be more tragic. Like, it starts out in their younger years, and it turns out they were really close friends when they were in primary school. But they both go to the same flight school. And Buzz Lightyear was liked among his peers, but Zurg wasn't. It could be kind of like a Meet the Robinsons, but with a darker twist. And when they set out for this mission to try and save the Earth, Zurg is like, screw the Earth, it doesn't deserve it for what it's done to me. They treated me like I'm trash. And it could make a really good friendship crumble as we witness the origin of Zurg. Instead of making them relatives, they were close friends. And say what you will, that sounds dumb, shouted reviewer. But it could be done in an interesting way. Like, a really interesting way. I mean, if they could do something cool like that in concept, it could be fun. And who should play the two main leads? Well, I think it should be played by stunt actors. Now, I'm not a stunt person expert, so I'm not going to delve deep into that. But I think it should be stunt people, and of course Buzz and Zurg wear their iconic suits. We've got stunt actors playing them physically, but for voice, I think for Buzz Lightyear, it should be Jeremy Renner. I mean, Jeremy Renner has pretty much that charismatic voice that can not also be serious, but also comedically funny. And given that the Toy Story series is pretty much comedic in tone, Lightyear could also be comedic in tone, if it can balance that with the seriousness, which again, the Toy Story movies have done fantastic, except the fourth one. And as who should play voice Zurg? I think it should be Keith David. I mean, for one, Keith David has also that charismatic voice that could be freaking threatening. I mean, Keith David is known for playing very charismatic evil villains. I mean, Dr. Facilio comes to mind. So overall, Lightyear as a movie was terrible, and I think a remake of this should do it justice. Just change the twist ending, make it a tragic story of how Buzz and Zurg became who they are, and get Jeremy and Keith David to voice them. They should be great. I mean, it can't be worse than this. And the sixth bad Disney movie that should get the remake treatment is Mars Needs Moms. I mean, man, this has wasted so much potential. I mean, for one, the whole idea could be kind of interesting if the animation wasn't so ugly to look at. And nothing against the voice actors, but the characters are insufferable. The mom is fine, but Milo is annoying. Small-minded little brat. And the world building feels unfinished. So how could I change it? Well, how I would change this is to make Milo's relationship with his mother more interesting in why they fight. I think Milo gets a misinterpretation, and I've forgotten where the father was in all this, but I think the father leaving them would make it more interesting. I mean, kind of think about it in this context. In my version, Milo loved both of his parents, but in my version, Milo has, I think, and hear me out on this, should have high functioning autism. So he adores his father, but the father secretly hates him, thinking that his autism is something bad, and he leaves Milo and his mother, but makes it in a way but turns Milo against his mother. So when the father leaves, Milo has a reason to hate his mother. That should make the conflict more interesting, and as Milo grows up, he resents his mother more and more. And when they finally have that big fight, Milo isn't sure how should it resolve. So when his mother gets kidnapped by the Martians, Milo isn't sure if he should rescue her or leave her. But given that his mother is the only sort of support he needs, he has a reason to go. Which would make the ending of the movie, in my version, he apologizes to his mother after she eventually tells him his father actually hated him because of his autism. Then Milo realized that his mother loved him always. It's just he never saw from her because she felt like she could hold in his verbal abuse. Given that he loved both of his parents, but the father turned him against her, and it makes it kind of interesting. I think it should be done in a very clever way, but very respectful, mind you. Oh, and as for the Martians themselves, again, like I said with the Aristocats entry, I think the Martians should not talk. Again, facial and body expressions tell a lot. And why do they kidnap his mother? Well, in a very interesting dark twist, they kidnap her because their planet is dying and they need her to, So that gives them a reason to kidnap her. But when Milo tries to convince them to let her go, he gives a big speech when he violently expresses how much he loves her and his apology to her for the verbal abuse over the years. That makes it much more powerful, and it makes Milo much more relatable, because he had a father figure he looked up to, but was brainwashed to believe his mother hated him. That should make it more powerful. So, who should play Milo and his mother? Well, Milo himself should be played by Ian Armitage. Yes, Sheldon Cooper from Young Sheldon. And yes, Sheldon Cooper is pretty much theorized to be autistic himself. And Ian Armitage played him very well. I think he should play Milo in this version. And given I think Ian Armitage is like in his teens, yes, I think Milo should be aged up. And again, given the autism, I think he could pull it off big time. And should play Milo's mother, Rose Byrne. I mean, Rose Byrne pretty much has the motherly figure status at this point. I mean, she wasn't Insidious after all. And I think she can handle the serious acting when the right script comes along. And Rose Byrne can pull it off. So overall, the original Mars Needs Mums is horribly represented. Milo is an absolute ungrateful little brat, and the whole world is ugly to look at. But if it was played to my version of the events, and the two actors that could play Milo and his mother, I think the movie could be a little better. And again, the Martians should not talk. So yeah, if you agree to disagree on the autism story that I've made up, that I think could work in a remake, that's fine by you. But given that I am autistic myself, I think autism in movies should actually work. And before you say, I don't think Ian Armitage is autistic himself, but given that he played Sheldon Cooper, who is pretty an autistic individual up here, I think Ian Armitage can make lightning strike twice, just given the right material. So yeah, I think Mars Needs Mums needs the remake treatment. And given what I just said, I think it can be pulled off. It can't be any worse though. Alright, we're at the halfway point. And the fifth bad Disney movie that should get the remake treatment is Pocahontas. I know what you're thinking. How could they honestly misrepresent what the original did worse? I don't think it should. Honestly, should the story change at all? I think it can a little bit, but keep it still and manage the same, with a few minor differences. I mean, for one, the bad guy should be changed a little bit. Like, at first, he is nice and friendly to the Indians. Nice and chilling, fun overall. But in a dark twist, he ends up taking them out one by one, leaving only Pocahontas and her father. And yeah, that could be kind of a stupid twist, but given the original wasn't that great either, making him subtle, I think the remake could do better. Oh, and yes, sound like a broken record, no, none of the animals talk. Not the raccoon, not the hummingbird, no one talks. None of them talk. Facial and body expression can tell all people. and I should play the three main leads. For Pocahontas, it should be Amber Midthunder. And given what I've seen from her acting, being the main character in Prey and being the sweet love interest in Novocaine, the actress can pull off being stunningly gorgeous and badass at the same time. And yes, I've looked it up. Amber Midthunder is pretty close in terms of dark skin tone. And I'm not sure if the remake should be a musical. I don't think it should. Amber Midthunder can pull off some really great action sequences. Again, Prey and Novocaine come to mind. Who should play John Smith? Aaron Taylor Johnson. I mean, the actor does play very variety of different characters in his acting career. He was Kick-Ass and Quicksilver. And given, yes, John Smith is, well, Aaron Taylor Johnson can have really good chemistry with given the right script. To be fair, he was fine in Kraven the Hunter. So, him playing as John Smith could be something different. And as for Governor Radcliffe, well, I couldn't decide, so I picked out two actors. First off, Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina can pull off pretty decent bad guys. I mean, he was, damn, what's his name? He played that main henchman in at the start of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Let me know the character's name down below, but Alfred Molina was in that, and he was terrific. And, of course, the infamous Doc Ock comes to mind. Alfred Molina can pull it off if he wanted to, playing as Governor Radcliffe. He could play him like a charismatic American with the fun charm, but he can be deadly serious when turned to the dark side. And as for the other actor, Terry O'Quinn, the titular stepfather, or what's his name from Lost. Terry O'Quinn can surprisingly pull it off. I mean, he can be fun, he can be interesting and charismatic, but can be murderous psychopath. He can switch off on a dime. I think either Terry O'Quinn or Alfred Molina could play a really good Governor Radcliffe. So overall, I think a remake of Pocahontas is really needed. I mean, the original wasn't even that great to begin with. Although Colors of the Wind is a pretty iconic song. I'll give it that. So yeah. I think the story should change a little bit, but not too much. And the actors I mentioned should be great if a remake of this happens. Which, yeah, I highly doubt, but one can dream. And the fifth bad Disney movie that I think should get the remake treatment is Wish. Boy, did this movie get so much hate when it first came out. My God. I mean, given missed potential with a concept like this. I mean, an evil king going mad with power, with magic power. What a cool idea! Oh, and the main character herself could be very well interesting if the movie itself was actually good and not just being a big nostalgia pan. What? Because it's the 100th anniversary of Disney? Come on, guys. Oh, and I'm gonna say this at the start. None of the animals talk, especially that damn goat. I mean, Alan Tudyk, I love you, man, but man, is the goat annoying. Please, seriously, no talking of the goat. Make him silent. Again, facial acting knows all. And I think, for the story, no nostalgia pan. I think the story should be changed up. For one, I think it should be King Magnifico finds out in a vision that a special girl is gonna come along and to overpower him one day. So he tries to find all the firstborn daughters and tries to make them disappear. But there's one that's still left. And that girl is driven off as an infant, brought up by somebody else and raised as the girl they know, Asha. But on the day she turns 18 is when she starts gaining her magical powers. And through a series of misadventures, she goes up against King Magnifico. And in a rather interesting twist, it turns out that the person sent to defeat him was his daughter the whole time. His biological daughter. Because it turns out King Magnifico, let's just say, he's kind of a womanizer. And he's worried that the multiple daughters he created with tons of women. Yes, it is kind of an interesting thing. One of them could be the prophet that sends to stop him, and Asher is the one. The only one. His own child. And they go back and forth in magic. And Asher becomes the next in line. Honestly, that could be an interesting story. Yes, it's pretty much the chosen one story, but with a few different differences. Kind of like the female version of Moses in that sort of way, but in a different way. So who should be in? Now for the actors. Selena Gomez should play Isha. Oh, and to add to my version of the story, make it a musical. Give the villain his own song, give the main character her own song, and during the fight, give both of them a music duel. That could be something cool. Like, as they fight, they continue to sing like, "Oh, why did you try and kill me?" Type of song. That could be us. That could be cool. And Selena Gomez as Isha could actually pull it off. Yes, she looks nothing like her, and that could be whitewashing, but I think Ash's nationality should be changed. To add to the difference. Again, in my version, King Magnifico, kind of a womanizer. And yes, he goes around with all different sorts of women in my version. And who should play And who should play King Magnifico? Well, I'm not sure if he's a singer. He sings anyway, but given that I saw his performance in Novocaine, Jack Wade. True, yeah, he's a little younger, but given that Jack Wade is like in his 30s, I think Jack Wade could pull it off. I mean, if you've seen his performance in Scream 5 and Companion, he could play the charismatic charmer turned monster in a heartbeat. And he's the one you kinda love to hate. I think Jack Wade could pull it off. And again, the comedy could here come into play. I don't know if he can sing or not, but yeah, you gotta cut some corners. But again, if he sung alongside Selena Gomez, who is a singer in real life, I think the singing duel part of their final battle, in my version of the story, could be something comedic and fun. So yeah, in my version of Wish, give Ash and King Magnifico an actual connection that makes the movie actually interesting. So yes, it is too soon that Wish should get remade, but given that the original is garbage, a remake couldn't possibly be any worse than this. I mean, look at that potential. That could be freaking cool. So yeah, I think a remake of Wish should happen. And for my version of the story, that could make it very interesting. A modern female version of Moses, but with magic. I mean, it couldn't possibly be any worse. Alright, the top 3. These are the 3 movies that are considered among the worst of the worst that I think could be done better. So what's the third bad Disney movie that should get the remake treatment? Home on the Range. And I know what you're thinking. A whole movie based on animals? Well, that's gonna be boring. Well, again, not to sound like a broken record, the animals once again shouldn't talk, but talk through their facial expressions. And yes, it's pretty much a Babe Pig in the City type story, but yes, keep the story the same. I mean, the story in the original had potential, but the comedy and the story could be fixed a lot of work. I mean, keep the story the same, just turn down the characters. Just make it about the three main leads, you know. The main one played by Rosie O'Donnell, the one played by Judi Dench, and the widow played by Jennifer Tilly. Keep that the same, just don't make them speak. Oh, and yeah, same with the horse. And for the villain himself, given Almeida Slim, and given that I have a love-hate with this actor right now, I mean, he was fine in the Minecraft movie, and he was fun as Bowser, but I think Jack Black should play Almeida Slim. Sorry. And given that the villain in the original had a musical number, Jack Black should definitely pull that off. And instead of being same like the original, make your own version of it. I mean, Jack Black has done that in his movie career. Peaches from the Mario Brothers movie, and Lava Chicken from Minecraft. Seriously, if Jack Black was told that he'd be cast as the villain in Home on the Range, and he was told he could do a musical number, let the man do his work, and I think he can make it very entertaining. I mean, peaches, la la lava, chicken. Again, anything Jack Black does with his singing career, he makes it so damn catchy. And I think he could play a really good Almeida Slim in a remake of Home on the Range. And again, a remake of this movie can be done, just make it more interesting. And again, Jack Black playing as the villain, I think it could be 100% fun. I mean, why do you think the Minecraft movie and the Mario Brothers movie made so much money at the box office? Because his name gives top billing. And him with his name of a remake on Home on the Range, I think he could pull it off. Again, his singing could make the movie very interesting. I mean, it can't be any worse. And the second bad Disney movie that should get the remake treatment is Chicken Little. Really? A CGI animated movie on the list? Yeah, Chicken Little has been getting the reputation of being one of the most mean-spirited Disney movies. I mean, the characters are awful, and the father figure has got to be one of the worst Disney characters ever written. Wow. So, should the story change? Yes. I think instead of bullying the main character for making up assumptions about the sky is falling, make it about something that should actually make the town hate him. Like, what if him and his friends, fish out of water, run to the litter and at beduggling, what if there were friends that pulled off a prank? Saying that the aliens are real, the aliens are coming, and when eventually happens, one of them disappears. Fish out of water was kidnapped by the aliens, but when they try and get the town to come help, the aliens have disappeared, and nobody believes them. And as the father, well, given he wasn't there at this joint, I'll explain that in a bit. This should give the town a reason to actually hate Chicken Little and his friends. This should be much more. Now, this sounds very, very weird, but it would actually be a much better interesting story and a reason to hate Chicken Little. Because unlike in the original, he's just a dumb kid who cried wolf. And the means they did in the original was way too extreme. The remake could do something a little different, but give them a reason to actually hate him. They pulled off a stupid prank and got one of the friends kidnapped. Got one of the friends taken. So, 1 year later, the aliens have come back and people start getting taken off one by one. So they go to Chicken Little and his friends and try and come up with a solution. That should be a cool idea. Oh, and where the father is, and where Buck Little is in all this, instead of making him an unlikable douche, make it look like, as in, he's disappointed in his son, but regardless, he still loves him. And he doesn't tell him to be invisible. He's still there regardless of support. And throughout the movie, in my version, you could see the guilt in Chicken Little's eyes as he's the reason why fish out of water is gone. And Buck can see that in his son's facial expressions. That could actually be perfect. That could actually, mean something. Oh, and you wonder how they're gonna make this live action. I think makeup could be required. I mean, they have done so in so many monster movies. I think Chicken Little should get the same treatment. And who should play these characters? Well, for Chicken Little himself, Jacob Tremblay. I mean, sorry, it's itch. Jacob Tremblay could actually pull off a decent Chicken Little. I mean, the kid has played a lot of young characters in his acting career. That baseball boy from Dr. Sleep, Flounder from The Little Mermaid. And yes, this wouldn't be the first... In my version, this wouldn't be the first time he'd be in a Disney movie. And he was in Smurfs too, as Blue. No, really, that's the character's name. He could make the character interesting. For Buck, and given that this actor has played a father figure who's kind of a douche, but a lovable douche, Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans should play Buck. And instead of making him... I think they should make him kind of slim, but with a little bit of muscle in there. So kind of a big-ass muscly figure. So Chris Evans can pull it off. I mean, he's the lovable jerk in any of his movies. I mean, Scott Pilgrim, Not Another Teen Movie, and of course the Red One. And yes, go watch that. Go watch my 2024 movies ranking. Let me know what you think of the Red One. As for Run to the Litter, Gaten Matarazzo. Yeah. What's his name from Stranger Things? Let me know down in the comments below. Oh, Dustin. Dustin from Stranger Things. I think Gaten Matarazzo would be great as Run to the Litter. Like, he could pull off, like, the, trying to get the girls, but he can't seem to. And he could play the lovable dork. I mean, he did in Stranger Things, mind you. Ugh. And as for Abby, one of the McGraw sisters. Who are the McGraw sisters? Well, Violet McGraw, who is, of course, Katie from Megan, and who was also in Dr. Sleep. So, it'll be a nice little Dr. Sleep connection. Or Madeline McGraw, who was in The Black Phone. One of the McGraw sisters could play Abby Duckling. I mean, for one, the two actors are close to Abby's age, I think, in the original. But she could pull off the beautiful love interest for Jacob Tremblay's version of Chicken Little. Could be sweet. And as for Fish Out of Water, well, I hate to sound like a broken record, but given he never spoke a word in the original, make him nonverbal. So yeah, overall, Chicken Little is a terrible movie. Mean-spirited and just awful in so many ways. Oh, and as for the aliens themselves, make them the same as the original, because that was the only good bit about the original. The aliens actually look pretty good. So keep him the same like in the remake. So yeah, a remake of Chicken Little should happen. I mean, given my version of the story, that could be actually kind of interesting. It can't be possibly any worse. And without a doubt, the number one bad Disney movie that should get the remake the most. And yes, this one actually did get a cult following afterwards, but I hate this movie. The Black Cauldron. Boy, do I have some things to talk about this one. Now, I will get one good thing out of the way. The Horned King is actually a cool villain. Okay, that's it. The original sucks. The main character is whiny. The princess is one-dimensional love interest. Oh, do we have to mention that Gurgi is one of the worst sidekicks ever in a Disney movie? He does nothing to contribute. He's annoying. And when he actually is executed in the movie, they had the audacity to bring him back. Boo! Boo! So, screw Gurgi. I hate this character. So, what do you think? What should the remake be changed? Honestly, the story actually has a lot of potential. Just make the characters more interesting. Minus the Horned King. Keep him the same. And I've got a pretty good actor who should play him. So, I think the story should be the same. Just get rid of the old guy who pretty much did nothing. Just keep the main character himself, the princess, and the pig that predicts the future. And again, none of the animals talk. I mean, the pig herself never spoke, and I liked that, so keep that in the remake. And as for who should play who, Taran should be played by Tom Holland. I mean, the guy looks pretty similar to him, doesn't he? I mean, Tom Holland has pretty much played the nice kid archetype. And they should make Taran actually a little smart. Like, an actual likable hero. And Tom Holland has played Peter Parker very likable. So I think Tom Holland should play Taran. He's kind of fun. And as for Princess Analawi, Dove Cameron. I mean, just have Dove Cameron dye her hair blonde, like she did in the start of Descendants 2, and I think she'd be perfect. Oh, and give the princess a reason to be there. I mean, maybe in one scene in my version, we go to her castle and she commandeers an army. We meet her parents, and a reason to storm the castle. That could actually be something. You know, like the princess's army versus the Horned King's army. That could be a cool fight. So Dove Cameron could actually pull this character off. She's gorgeous, charismatic. And if we're keeping with the Disney princess format, maybe a cute little tune from her. Dove Cameron can't sing. She's gorgeous, by the way. Oh, and as for the Horned King himself, well, I've gone through several actors that could pull it off. Tobin Bell, Gary Oldman, Willem Dafoe. But none of them come as close as the actor who pretty much has one of the charismatic voices in Hollywood. And he has played one of the best versions of Hellboy. Ron Perlman. I think he make a fantastic Horned King. And before you say, well, shouldn't he go through the makeup? Well, given that he did the same thing with the Hellboy movies, yes. I mean, give him like a dark green skeleton look, like a bit of bone in the skin, and keep the cape as the same, but show a bit of a rib cage, and Ron Perlman's voice through that thing could be cool and charismatic, and it make it surprisingly dark. Honestly, there's so much potential you could do with the Horned King. Keep the Horned King the same as the original, but get Ron Perlman to voice him. And play him, of course. He would be 100% perfect for the role. Ron Perlman would be fantastic as the Horned King. And if you wonder why I haven't mentioned Gurgi, I think Gurgi should be removed from the remake. He was one of the worst aspects of the original, and he made the remake worse by being there. So yeah, I think the two main leads, it should be at least Tarrant and the princess. I mean, they're the only two that I actually cared about in the original, and the remake would give Tom Holland and Dove Cameron pretty good chemistry if they were to star in it. So yeah, The Black Cauldron is the #1 Disney movie, the bad Disney movie that I think should get the remake treatment the most. It could have a really dark and creepy story. Tom Holland and Dove Cameron would make great leads. Get rid of Gurgi. And Ron Perlman as the Horned King would be one of the creepiest and intimidating characters. Perfect. And I consider it the #1 movie that should get the remake treatment. So, this is my Disney live-action movie video today. The top 10 bad Disney movies that should get the remake treatment. So, let me know down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and subscribe. So hopefully I get more love. And if you happen to agree with these entries, that's great. If you happen to disagree, let me know down in the comments below why you like or hate this movie, or what movies that I've missed that you hate should be on the list. Later tonight, I hope to watch this movie that's currently on Netflix at the moment. I'll tell you about it later on tonight. Tomorrow, I'll be looking at Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 2, Chapter 14, City of Walls and Secrets. Don't worry, I'm back on the Avatar train. Today's a special day. I just wanted to talk about this. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.